So without these subsidies, without adding this little extra boost to it, the Affordable Care Act becomes unaffordable. And moron Mike Johnson was walking around, yeah, we got something for this. We good. They have nothing.
This is for educational and entertainment purposes only.
Hello, and welcome to the Think Tank, where we use critical thinking, deductive reasoning, and just a pinch of common sense to draw unbiased logical conclusions. Today we're here to talk about discharge petitions and the effects that they may have. Before we go into a great discussion about it, first allow me to let my co-host introduce himself.
Good
Dion?
morning. Good morning, wherever time in the world you are, family. I'm District Leader Dion Powell of the Boston Conservative Party, America First, Pro MAGA, consultant, community organizer. Thank you for having me again.
Oh, it's always a pleasure to have you, Dion. So we're here to talk about discharge petitions and all of the magical ways that they are being implemented by Congress at the present moment. Would you like to explain to our audience what a discharge petition is?
A discharge petition is when members of the House have a bill committee and want to bring that bill to the floor, and the Speaker of the House tries to block it.
So the rest of that is that's what sets up the need for a discharge petition, right? So the House has a bill on the floor, the House committee has a bill on the floor that they want to bring in front of everybody. So they vote on it in committee and it's a yes. The ayes have it. So now they want to bring it to everybody so that the entire House can vote on it. If the Speaker of the House, in this case, the moron Mike Johnson, wants to block that bill from coming to the floor, there has to be a discharge petition. It's a way to go above his head and bring the bill to the House floor to vote on, even though the Speaker of the House, in this case, moron, doesn't want that bill to be voted on. Generally speaking, why am I calling him a moron? Because he's just kowtowing and bowing the knee to Donald Trump.
You see, and then when they bite back, when they bark back with some other colorful language, everybody gets mad and shocked and dismayed, and they have to be all freaking statement-like, but okay.
So what happened is, it used to be that when we spoke in politics or about politics, of politics, we used clean language. We used to speak well. We used to have manners. But unfortunately, one person has come and torn all that down and incited people with inflammatory language, violent language, and profanity. Now, in order to try and keep up, we have to dumb ourselves down to speak like that person that is being mimicked by the moron. So a discharge petition is the vote that goes over the House Speaker's head. Once the discharge petition is signed by, what is it, 100, I forget how many, enough Congress people. One example, the one that started everybody talking about the discharge petition was the senator from Nevada, Agrelita Grajava. When she signed her final signature on the discharge petition, allowed the release of the Epstein files. Now we have several other discharge petitions in the works because the House has realized that this is a way to get around, above, and through the moron Mike Johnson, the henchman of Donald J. Trump, the unfortunately the executive officer in the executive branch of the United States, the president. One example of how they're trying to use the discharge position now is there's a bill on the floor to block Congress from being able to trade stocks. Dion, do you think that that bill is a good thing?
Yes. Now, this is when both parties have to accept the challenge to try to take the moral high ground and in a bipartisan fashion, take something that's in the will and the good of the country overall. Because we all know that, people like former Speaker Nancy Pelosi, and such insider trading happens place on both sides. So this is something that where people start in Congress making a certain salary and they walk away or currently are millionaires. So that's why people scrutinize.
I don't understand your math. You seem to have a problem with the fact that people are making about $100,000 a year, and in 5 years they're millionaires. Wait, one, two, three. I see your point. So yes, and the reason they do it is because they get inside information based on the bills that are on the floor or being passed or coming to the floor. They use their position to get the knowledge. They trade stocks based on said knowledge. And when the bill comes that actually causes those stocks to fluctuate, they use that insider knowledge to become rich, which in any other place would be considered something called insider trading. Now, I'm not a financial expert,
No.
but insider trading sounds kind of like you got some inside information and you're using it to benefit, but you're not supposed to because there's laws around it. So you think that this bill, I happen to agree, this bill, me and Dion agreeing, and GOP as well as Democrats coming together to form bills because there's something wrong when this is happening. Because now the Congress people that are using this insider trading gimmick are voting in their best interest and not for the will of the people. They're voting so that they can make this money from this insider trading, or at least that is the implications and that is the reason behind the discharge petition. Why would somebody want to block that? Oh, that's right, because of all of the grifting that Donald Trump is doing. So they're
Donald Trump. He's already a billionaire. What does this got to do with Donald
How
Trump?
did he get to be a billionaire?
Not by being in Congress. So
no, not by being in Congress, but by insider trading, by using his position to do everything that this bill says he can't do. That's how he got to be there. Okay, he was not a billionaire when he got into office.
But this has nothing to do with Donald Trump. I'm surprised you connected the dots back to Trump. We were agreeing in harmony for bipartisanship, and magically, it's not Orange Man bad at the end of the day, so he must be behind it. That's amazing.
Okay, so then why is the House Speaker trying to block this petition or this bill from hitting the floor for a vote?
Well, my first reaction wouldn't be the president of the United States involvement. It would be Mike Johnson being one of the people that will be affected and also representing the people that will be affected by this bill and all the money that will be lost potentially going forward for the Congress, both House and Senate. Understand?
Okay, so let's play this backwards, just for kicks and giggles, because I like to kick and I love to giggle. So if Donald Trump suddenly decided that this bill was a great thing, what do you think moron Mike Johnson would do?
Well, what has he been doing already?
Doing anything Donald Trump said.
Well, again, look at it. If Donald Trump said this was a good bill, Mike Johnson, the speaker, will probably try to find a way to walk the tightrope to either acquiesce to the president or actually acquiesce to the interests of the body, which is actually, you know what, this is a good idea, but let's find a way to bury it, in the sand so we keep our money gravy train going with these stocks.
So you're saying he would try and go against Trump if Trump liked the bill. That's your statement. See, you're making me giggle.
Yeah, again, there's certain things that even the speaker, because he doesn't have control of the votes, the will of the body, he has to acquiesce to. So if the votes are there, he has to go with it. Just like, remember he sat on this lady getting sworn in? There's little strategies like that to buy time. And as they say, stretch for time in the industry to hopefully things will, either die and have to wait until next the political calendar and those kind of gimmicks. Understand? Filibuster.
Absolutely. Like the Epstein files. Absolutely. And what they found with the Epstein files was moron Mike Johnson following the president's bidding is not enough. We just sign a discharge petition and bring the vote to the House floor, which is what's happening here. Is there any other examples? The Affordable Care Act. The big one. Dun, 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 dun. Let's talk about it. The Affordable Care Act. The Affordable Care Act is set to expire on December 31st, 2025. This will put millions of Americans in a position where their healthcare doubles, triples, and possibly even more. The president was so against, and the GOP was so against the Affordable Care Act. I believe moron Mike Johnson was quoted a month ago saying, "We absolutely have bills. We're ready to bring them to the floor right now as soon as the government opens up." Do you remember that, Dion?
Sure.
So the government's been open for a month, and it appears by watching anything that Congress, or I should change that, GOP in Congress, I should change that. The GOP has nothing. Am I wrong?
Well, again, last time the Democrats they just want to extend the Affordable Care Act subsidies. So far, the Affordable Care Act is a bigger monster than the GOP realizes, and the Democrats realize. Democrats just want to keep exacerbating problems so they can stay in power and say, "See, we give you all these wonderful things," but Republicans have a hard time figuring out how to scale back, and that's what's going on right now.
So it appears that there's enough votes to extend the Affordable Care Act because despite all of the mumbo jumbo you just gobbled, the truth of the matter is the GOP has no game plan. So what would happen is if the Affordable Care Act subsidies expire, which is a little boost to help the Affordable Care Act marketplace become a little bit more affordable since it's gotten to be more out of control since the pandemic. So without these subsidies, without adding this little extra boost to it, the Affordable Care Act becomes unaffordable. And moron Mike Johnson was walking around, "Yeah, we got something for this. We good." They have nothing. Don't listen to the moron. He's a moron. So now enough GOP have hopped of the Republicans have hopped aboard. Like our constituents are going to be the ones hurt because we rely on Obamacare. We don't want to say we rely on a black guy, but he put that bill there, and without that, we are screwed. So now even the president's like, extension. Yeah, extension. Even the president is like begrudgingly deciding that perhaps it might be in the best interest for everybody if they extend it. The big argument now is not whether to extend it, but by how far and how long.
Right.
So they're like, should we extend it a year? Should we extend it 3 years? Because they don't have anything else.
Yeah, it's right. I keep kicking the can down the road, unfortunately, but it just goes to show you that Obamacare, in its inception, was a good feeling idea, but doesn't work.
It works just as good as extending tax credits to the wealthy forever. If we can afford to give Donald Trump, no, let's not use him. Let's say Elon Musk. No, let's not use him. Let's say Mark Zuckerberg. No, let's not use him. Let's say anybody with billions of dollars, more money in their pocket through tax breaks, then we can afford to give the average American affordable health care. And Congress has come to realize that that might want to be there in their best interest. That's something they might want to do. So they're like, all right, we're going to vote on it. And the moron's like, no, stop. You can't. No, stop, no. And they're like, all right, we saw what happened before. Discharge petition. We're going over your head. Does that sound like it about sums it up, even though you don't like me calling the moron? I shouldn't call him names. That's almost like Donald Trump calling somebody a little piggy.
Well, there you go. You become what you hate, which is Donald Trump. Isn't that great?
No, I'm mimicking him to show how
inspired by Donald Trump. Inspired by Donald Trump.
I'm mimicking him to show how ridiculous, how disgusting the behavior is.
Yeah, but it's inspired by
It's not a form
Trump.
of flattery.
Inspired by Donald Trump because you guys can't you can't take this man down and throw him in jail. So you gotta just go tit for tat. When he goes low, you gotta go lower. You know what I mean? But that's all good. It's
No,
all
I'm kind of doing like the governor of California, Gavin Newsom.
horrible governor.
I'm sorry?
Horrible governor. His state is horrible.
But he's also apparently, according to analytics, math, and stuff like that, the polls, leading Democrats in potential pure people running for president. And why? Because people like the fact that he's standing up to Donald Trump, and one of the biggest things he's doing is showing how ridiculous Trump is by mimicking him. And Trump is so upset by it. You can't do what I do because I'm the only one that can be a complete idiot on the world stage.
That's
But I
right.
digress.
Newsom looks completely inauthentic and trying to find different formulas to be something that he's not. Whereas Donald Trump is authentic. He's going to be himself. So people see through how phony Newsom is, even his
I think
own
it's more.
constituents.
I think it's more along the lines of Gavin Newsom is actually a well-spoken gentleman, and
Still his state is horrible. So
so is the country under Donald,
homelessness.
and so is the country under Donald Trump. So we did have the best economy in the world. He comes up with so much stupid stuff. I don't remember, but we did have the number one economy in the world. The economy that was the wonder of the world, and he took it and trashed it. But back to the discharge petitions, because that's what's important, right? They're going to go vote above the moron Mike Johnson's head and put this bill on the floor. Will President Trump sign the ACA subsidies? Will he sign the regulations on stock trading by members of the government? Will he capitulate when he has no choice because the bills are sitting in front of him like he did with the Epstein files? Will he change his story? They're a hoax. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm leading the charge. I'm signing. I want people to know what happened, what's inside the files. We're going to release the files. We're going to release the files. Files not released. As, was easily predicted by anybody with half a brain cell. Oh, you thought the files were going to be released, Dion? Did you think that?
No.
Okay. Wow. See? And you're a Trump
called
supporter.
redacting. It's called redacting. We know, just like Martin Luther King and JFK, there are powers to be, unfortunately, I don't like that term, in which certain information cannot become public knowledge. So if people are not going to get exactly what they wanted or expected, but here we are. But one thing we can say for sure, the Democratic Party's having a hard time to pin anything on Trump from the Epstein files. And they're nice and big bad.
I don't know what you're talking about. The emails that have come out would have been enough to put any other man in jail. But the man who
What is he guilty of?
spending an immense amount of time with a young lady, a young girl of 15 years old who was being trafficked in the process of her trafficking in and of itself would be enough that's it. That would be enough. That's it. That's crazy. We're not going to. You don't need nothing else.
All the other names in the Epstein files, Donald Trump doing something with that person. I don't know, Leo. You got to show me more information on that one.
Well, I mean, he only showed up in about 76% of the files.
That means nothing. Nothing at all. These Jeffrey Epstein hangs out with a lot of.
Did y'all hear that? There's not enough to bury him.
Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton.
Bill Clinton was not in 76% of the files.
Woody
The only
Allen.
person.
So what do we do?
Only person in 76% of the files is only one person in the world, and he happens to be the president now. And maybe that's why it's so difficult to get them files released. Maybe.
This is not about the victims anymore. It's about taking down Donald Trump. So unfortunately, victims, you're going to have to wait your turn.
Well, taking down Donald Trump would expose the files, and then the victims could finally have the peace that they're asking for.
That's not true at all, but okay.
Well, according to the victims.
The victims don't care about Donald Trump. That's a fact. They care about justice.
Right. That's why they formed a whole coalition about Donald Trump to release them files, because they knew Donald Trump was blocking him. That's
right,
why.
but they don't want to see him go to jail. They want to see everybody else that's involved go to jail.
We don't want Donald Trump. We want everybody else. Right.
They're not Trump deranged as much as you need them to be. That's why Marjorie Taylor Greene was involved. Remember, she was the face of these victims fighting to get Trump to do it. That's
Right.
why
And the victims that she's with want Donald Trump and him to release the files. They're at Marjorie Taylor
they
Greene.
want to release the files, but he's guilty of nothing. They're not accusing him of anything. Understand? That's the difference.
What? So then why did Marjorie Taylor Greene become the sudden victim of Donald Trump's wrath once she joined the Epstein victims?
Well, the Epstein victim, she was outspoken against Israel, and that actually put rifts into the MAGA movement. So those are the
It
reasons.
didn't become bad until she joined the Epstein victims. That's when he started talking about all of the things that started putting her life in danger, according to Marjorie Taylor Greene, not according to me.
Well,
According
again,
to all the stuff she's been saying.
that proves that he's not guilty of anything. He was just trying to sit on the files. And so far, the victims, again, back to the victims, they don't want to see
Wait a minute. The
Donald
fact
Trump brought to
that
justice.
you say things in this. So you're saying that the fact that he began to attack her in a way that put her life in danger once she started representing the victims proves that he's not in the files. That's what you just said, because that's what you just said.
No, it proves that he's not guilty of anything. That's it.
If you're enjoying the content, please like, share, subscribe. We have a little fundraiser we're doing. I'm trying to get my first project, my first feature film project. I've been doing television commercials for 15 years, and I'm trying to do my first feature film project. There's a link down in the box. You can help us to raise the funds to make that happen. And we're live every Sunday, 9 p.m. Please help us go on the algorithm. It's nothing but a click of the button. We're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers. Oh, wow. I didn't know that was a feature.
Yeah, the AI, when you do like this, it makes the hand. Because so many people, like old timers, don't know how to find the raise the hand feature in these Zoom sessions. Zoom created an algorithm in which it monitors people that raise their hand physically to help presenters. Like, all right, that person raised their hand. So that's what happened when I did this.
You get to raise both hands, I think. Okay. But the techniques, so you see how the detection system works.
There's a timer. There's a timer.
Is there? Interesting.
Next
All right. Well, all right. Thank you very much for everybody for coming. Well, this is Leon Dion. Sorry. Oh, Dion, any closing statements?
We are the media, and now so are you. So please, you can afford to pay attention and keep this movement going on your platforms and through your network by sharing, like the man said.
This is Leon Dion signing out.